So why there's inflation and what makes inflation happen? In this video, I want to give you 3 reasons why inflation is here, especially in the US with the market it is right now. So watch all the way to the end and I'll give my opinion what I think is going to happen in March with the Federal Reserve meetings and everything that is a busy month, March, okay? Welcome back to Crypto and Stock. My name is Hugo and it's a pleasure to have you guys here. If it's your first time, go ahead, subscribe. Do not hesitate. Guess what? It is free and does not increase the inflation rate. So what makes inflation happen? Let's give you 3 reasons. The first one is a cost push inflation. So basically is the cost of the business increase and they push that to the consumers, that's us, right? Yeah, so the cost can increase for many reasons. It can be like the raw product that they need is more expensive. For example, coffee houses, the coffee is more expensive than it was before, so that money need to go down the line to us. So the price of the coffee is gonna cost more than was before. The workers want to get paid more. You see everywhere saying that their starting rate at $12, $15 an hour. So that cost again come to us, the consumers. And as well, it can be just the rent of the business. So the rent's more expensive, then this cost come back to the consumer. So the price of the coffee can increase because, just for example, the coffee, it can increase because the coffee beans is more expensive. They need to pay more for the barista, and the rent for the business is more expensive. So that's the cost push to us. The second reason could be demand inflation. Demand inflation is basically like that. I have one apple and John comes to buy it. I sell for him for 50 cents. Then the next day I have only one apple again and I have 3 people come to buy. And they're like, I can raise to 55 cents. And one of them say yes. Then the next day there's 10 people that in front of me that want to buy the same apple and that raised to 75 cents. Some people are gonna say nah, I'm gonna wait for, but some people can say yes. And then the next day there's 100 people in front of me to buy my apple, one apple, and I can sell that apple for $1. So it's the demand. There's more demand, so I can increase my price. And just summarize, just give an idea, is people have more disposable income. That will increase the demand. That is going to increase the price. That's what's happening in the US right now. So another way to explain the demand inflation is, let's talk about the mortgage. The mortgage rates were so low that people could get a more pricier house, or they refinance their house and they have more disposable income because their mortgage is not as expensive as it was before. A lot of people instead invest that money, and many did. A lot of people decide, with this extra $200-300, they're gonna buy a car, they buy a boat, they go out more often, go to restaurants, and this increases the demand in all the business. And with more demand, business can charge more. The third reason could be the printing money. We know the feds are printing money non-stop, and they print money because we had back in 2020 a really crisis, and they had to stimulate the economy. So how they stimulate the economy? They can do 3 ways, and they did all 3 ways. They can print money, so they increase the notes in circulation. They can increase their government debt, and they did that too. And they can give bigger loans to the banks for the same asset or same reason. So whenever you have all this happening, basically you have more money down the market, and with more notes circulating on the market, decrease the value of the dollar. So the dollar that was worth $100 last year now is worth $93 because we have the inflation about 7%. It's 7.5, but about 7%. But then you are like, why we have freaking inflation? Why we don't do zero inflation? Zero inflation is not good because it does not stimulate the economy to grow. We need a little bit of inflation. And the US does a good job. For years and years, we had inflation to around 2.3%. And that's good. You need that. It's much better than other countries. Just for example, Argentina and Turkey, they have about 50% inflation a year. That's crazy. Brazil, that's where I'm from, it's over 10% a year. We're still better than these countries, but we definitely want to work on that, okay? And if you ask me why inflation is such a problem, and the reason is that income, prices, and housing does not inflate in the same rate. Like if everything was coming up 100% or 20% every year, would be fine. But the problem is it is not steady and it's not predictable. Income, price, and house does not increase the same rate. Your income come up 2%, but the housing is 5% and the prices are 10%. Your income is devalued right now because you only have two, so everything else is higher than that. So you have less money to spend, and that can create a crisis. My opinion right now is if you have cash in the bank, put that money to work, even if it's just for like 0.5% or 1%. So this way you do not devalue your money as much as you will automatically does just because of inflation. Remember, everything is 7%, 7.5% higher now. Just for example, if you have $100 on your bank last year and you could buy 100 t-shirts, like as today you only can buy 93 shirts. So basically your money is devaluing. So put it to work, put in some investment that it give you a little bit back at least, okay? Remember that the sectors of finance and the energy usually do well during inflation time. So March is gonna be a really important month for all of us. First of all, on March 4th, we're gonna have the labor report. So let's see how's the market's doing, right? The labor market. Then on March 10th, two really important things. We're gonna have the CPI. Remember, we just had the CPI that we expect to be 7.3 inflation. We got 7.5. So we're gonna have the CPI for February. If it comes down, that's gonna be a good sign. If it stays steady or
go up, that's a bad sign.
And then on March 10 as well is when the Fed's finally is gonna stop putting money on the market. And I think they're behind. I think they should have done this last year. But they still want to keep that plan so it doesn't create instability to the market that's already unstable. And then on March 16, we're gonna have the Federal Reserve meetings. And that's gonna be a crucial because at first we thought it would be a 0.25 points raising increase, but now they're talking about 0.5, maybe a whole point. There's so much uncertainty that we're gonna have those questions answered in March 16. So if J. Powell comes and say, no, we're just gonna do 0.25 and let's continue with the plan, I think that's gonna be fine. Even if he comes and say, we're gonna increase 0.5 point this month and next month we're gonna increase 0.25 point, I think that's gonna be fine as well, as long as we have an idea what they're gonna do it. And the difference is, if they increase 0.25, the Fed still believe the economy is fine. If they increase 0.5, I think the stock market is already pricing for that, and I believe we're gonna be kind of steady. But if they increase any more than 0.5%, then we might have a little bit crisis. I do not believe it's gonna be that. I'm really go for 0.25 or 0.5% increase rate on March 16th. But we'll see what the Feds decide, right? That's it for today. It's just a short video. I hope you enjoy. Again, if you're first time or saw any value in this video and you have not subscribed, I know a lot of people that watch my videos are not subscribed. Go ahead, subscribe, smash the like button, and put a comment to help me out, okay? Have a great day and I'll see you tomorrow.